All right, we're live. I feel like I start all these lives the exact same way, which I do. Um, Somebody told me that the other way, so now I'm a little bit self-conscious of it, but I'm a man of repetition and consistency. So, hope y'all had a great weekend. I'll let some people join here. I know it's kind of a little bit last minute. The other stuff I do is typically a little bit planned out, going live here on Facebook, inside the Builders Authority Facebook group. Got LinkedIn, got YouTube, all that stuff. Getting ready to rock and roll. Awesome. And before anybody asks, I am at home today because of the weather. So someone, like, I was on a Zoom call earlier today and people were like, "What background do you have? Is that a blurred background?" I'm like, "No, this is literally just the background in one of our rooms at our house." Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? For some reason, I don't know why I can't see who wrote that. I'm trying to get that fixed, but appreciate y'all taking some time to hop on here today. Wanted to kind of continue conversations that I've been having with people. So obviously, over the last couple months, I have drastically taken things to the next level. Zach, see what's up, man? What's up, Zach? Really appreciate you. I've taken things to the next level in terms of starting Builders Authority. I became a coach at WinRate Consulting now. I've got into another partnership in a local photo booth rental business, in addition to still doing everything at Hite Digital. And I started having conversations because people were like, "Hey, what's going on? Are you still involved?" People were like, "Hey, are you still involved in Hite? What's going on there?" And so I figured, instead of just like answering the numerous amounts of DMs and messages and things like that I was getting, that I would just come on here and kind of give a state of the union, or a state of Adam, as I call it, for everything that I have going on, kind of what my plan is for the future, and all that stuff. So that way, when people ask me in the future, I can be like, "Hey, go check out this video that's on YouTube and on my Facebook page," and it will ultimately give you all of the information. So I'm super excited to just kind of come on here, and I don't have like a specific agenda of what I'm going to go through, other than kind of just hitting some of the key points on what 2023 was for me in terms of the business, and talk about some evolutions. You may or may not know some of these things that I will be sharing with you here today, but if you have any questions, feel free to shoot comments below, things like that. We are doing another live webinar tomorrow, which I'm super, super excited about, on how to dominate your online presence in 2024. So feel free to sign up for that. It's all been all on my profile. That's going to be at 5 p.m. Central tomorrow. What's up, Rodolfo? Much love, man. Hope all is well. But yeah, I don't want to kind of go off tangent too much here, because I know I got a little bit of stuff to go through. My goal is to keep this around 30 minutes, but appreciate y'all that are on here. If you're watching live, again, feel free to shoot me a message. Let me know you're watching. Feel free to ask any questions throughout this process, as well as if you're watching the replay, obviously feel free to go back and comment, all those good things. But I think holistically, I'll just kind of start and share a little bit about where things are at with all the different ventures that I have going on. So if anybody knows me, you know that I move very quick. I try to, take action. I try to do everything that, like, I preach to you all that are watching my content. I try to do those exact same things in my life and my business, because that's where ultimately all of this stuff makes sense, where people will follow and consume my content and want to be around me, is when I'm telling you to go take action and fail forward and do all those things. And ultimately, I want to be doing that same thing and setting the example, and being the standard, right? So first aspect, in as many of you know, I've been with Hite now for a little over 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years in June. And for those first 2 years, I was a franchisee of Hite Digital. So came into Hite, had 20, 30 clients, grew that up to a couple, like in the 120, 130 range. And ultimately, through a variety of different experiences and opportunities, just had the ability to take my franchise and have it be a much bigger part of Hite as a whole. So some of you all know this. I didn't make like some big drastic public announcement or anything like that, but I became a partner at all of Hite in June of this past year. So right around the time of that TCS event, the Commitment Summit event that we throw every single year, I actually became a partner at all of Hite. And so people have asked or might have questions on like, well, what does that mean? Really nothing changed for our clients and my team, which was like the two most important things for me. The thing that did change was ultimately like my day to day and my role. I stopped being a franchisee. I became a partner of a much larger organization in Hite Corporate, while also, as you guys have seen and gals have seen, that I'm our VP of growth. So I kind of head up and I'm on the C-suite and the leadership team from our sales department, marketing department, internally aspect. And so for me, it was a opportunity to be a part of something much bigger after running and growing a franchise, running and gunning for little over 2 years, and running an agency for 3.5 years, and being a multi-million-dollar agency in a very short period of time. I simply needed more resources, more opportunities for my team, for my clients, and for me as a whole, because I had the idea that I wanted to create builders of authority. I wanted to do some coaching and consulting. And ultimately, I just didn't feel like I could make everybody successful in doing that. Right. So an opportunity presented itself. I took that opportunity in June of this past year, and we've continued to move and shift and focus on what the big picture of Hite Digital actually is. And it's more than just Adam McChesney. And so the conversations that I have had with some people, they've noticed the difference between when it was just Adam and his team versus Adam and now an empire that we have at Hite Digital. Is the client experience is better than literally ever before. Shout out to Emily and her incredible team. We have our best account manager lineup that we've literally ever had. Demi has taken on a completely bigger role within inside the organization. We have Damaris on our team who helps out the growth department, and then countless other people as well. For those of you that know Kagan, he came in as our COO. So a couple of the other franchises merged in with us as well. And so I don't want to like dive into all the logistics and all of that stuff. But for me, a lot of people had asked, hey, Adam, like what was the reason behind that? And obviously, I kind of mentioned, like, I want to do bigger and better things in other companies and other organizations and all these other things that I also own a part of. But I wanted to make sure that Hite continued to grow and scale, and that I gave our clients the best opportunity as well as my team. When you're a franchise, in terms of a franchise of a much larger organization, there's only so much that you can obviously do. And we were at such a big aspect with all these team members and hundreds of clients at that point, where this was just the best overall aspect that could have been for everybody. And a lot of people like look at what I built and they're like, hey, Adam, you are like, you're Hite St. Louis, you are, X, Y, and Z. And the long and the short of it is that I'm not, right? And so it was a large burden because I'm the face of a lot of stuff. And I'm going to be like open and more transparent about like my journey in throughout all of this as much as I possibly can. But like, I have to be on sometimes at all times, right? Because people sign up with Hite Digital because they know Adam McChesney, and that's awesome. I take that very seriously. I enjoy that, but it also comes with a lot of, stress and anxiety and all those different things. My team is absolutely amazing. And again, it's never been better than it has been today, but people always want to talk to Adam. They know me, they like me, they trust me. So I create this know, like, and trust, which is what I teach and what I do. But I personally probably didn't do as good of a job of looping in my team. And I'm an action taker, so I'll take care of a situation and then kind of tell people, hey, here's how to go do it. I need to become a better leader and a better delegator, probably more than anything, if there's an area of opportunity within business just as a whole, or for me as an entrepreneur and a leader of people. But people have access to my cell phone, they have access to my email, they have access to me in my DMs on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Like it's really, really easy to find Adam McChesney. And because I built my agency and I built my business and I built my brand around serving people, around taking care of people, and sometimes putting people before myself and those closest to me, I actually started to obviously like break. And I realized like I've built this large agency serving all of these clients, doing some incredible things, but this is not sustainable. So ultimately, this move to become a partner at all of Hite was like my one opportunity to truly make sure that everybody, including myself, got taken care of. And so as I made that move, as I made that pivot, of course, like our clients that I've talked to, they're like, man, I haven't even noticed a difference. If anything, we're served at a better level. We're optimizing things at a completely higher escalation process in terms of testing out new things, creating new offers, finding ways to serve the client first, and then reverse engineer everything else, which has been, an incredible piece for me to see the team just take ownership and really move at a light speed. Thanks to JC, thanks to Kagan, thanks to our leadership team and all of the amazing people that are a part of Hite. And so kind of going back is I have, of course, started the Builders of Authority. I became a coach at WinRate Consulting. So people are like, hey, Adam, are you even at Hite still? The answer, of course, is yes, just in a different capacity. And I know I posted a little bit about like the transition and all that stuff, but probably not as much as I should have to help people understand how we ultimately got to, really where we're at right now. And when I thought about like what the future would hold, when I made that decision, of course, again, like my whole aspect was how do I keep clients and serve them, make sure that they are taken care of? Because at any point throughout this process, if my clients or my team weren't taken care of in the same way, then I was like, I'm out, right? Like I'm not interested in pursuing anything else. Well, of course, we got those two things taken care of. The biggest change ultimately came from me being, the CEO of a smaller franchise to being a partner at this large organization to now having business partners to then being a VP with inside of the company. So it's been a great experience for me, just like learning new ways of doing things, being, going from being 100% owner of the whole pie, even though it being a smaller pie of the bigger pie, but then to owning a smaller piece of a big pie and just seeing those differences in navigating that. But for me, it allowed me this new opportunity to be able to go do some of the things that I'm doing right now. And I share all of that to help you understand where I'm at right now and where I'm going. So that way, again, the questions or the speculations or like people will, say the craziest crap on the internet that it just doesn't go there, right? So Builders of Authority was something as I'm kind of like pivoting and shifting. And again, there's no real agenda or anything like that. So I'm kind of just going off the cuff. But pivoting and shifting, Builders of Authority was something that like I had in the back of my mind for a bit because I grew my agency on all the same things that I talk about in Builders of Authority. The personal branding, becoming the expert, becoming the authority, doing all those different opportunities. And I had people ask me for months, if not over a year, hey, Adam, can you teach me personal branding? And it wasn't just digital marketing agencies that were like, hey, Adam, I love how you prospect and separate yourself. I love how you do X, Y, and Z. It was contractors. Like we just onboarded in Builders of Authority, a $30 million roofing company that is a client of ours in Builders of Authority because he wants to help put his team in a position to be personal branding experts and grow their business and do all those things. And he wants to hire more highly qualified and talented sales reps because of his personal brand and the brand of his team. But there were so many people that for whatever reason, whether they were doing marketing in-house, whether they were working with another agency that they left, or whether they couldn't or didn't need a digital marketing agency, they ultimately were like, Adam, I want more of you, but I don't need what you provide at Hite Digital, but I want to be around you. I want to be in an ecosystem, learning from you about personal branding. This stuff works. I want more of it. So I said, no, 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 no. I started the auto glass company in 2021. I started a landscape design business as well in 2021 before my agency was fully automated. In 2021, for those of you that recall, that's when the auto glass company started in January. In April, I made the switch over to Hite and became a franchisee. And in May, we launched our landscape design company. And in all of those different companies, Auto Glass, I was 100% owner in the very beginning. I put up a bunch of money. I had no idea what in the world I was freaking doing. Then I have my agency that's continuing to grow. Then I start the landscape design company with my buddy Dallas. I'm doing all of these different things, going in all of these different directions, and none of those companies could run without me. So I said, man, I am not going to start Builders of Authority. And of course, like at the time, I had no idea what the name of it was going to be, but I kept telling people, like, I'm not going to start something until my marketing agency and all these other things could like be fully freaking automated, because I didn't want to like bite off more than I can chew. Right. So I pushed it, I kicked it to the curb, I said all these things. And when I made the transition ultimately, and when things started to align about like, my overarching goal with Hite is to continue doing everything that I've done and empower more people and to truly be a brand. And when people see Adam McChesney, they know that they can go to him for digital marketing from Hite Digital. They know that they can do the personal branding stuff, and they know that they can get one-to-one or group business coaching. That's ultimately what I'm trying to do and where I'm going. So it gave me the opportunity to be able to do a little bit of all of that. But with Builders of Authority, it finally just came to an aspect of Murphy was born in October. In September, I created this free lead magnet where I said, here's the 7 steps to take your business from $0 to $1 million with personal branding. And I had close to 500 people, and I still have like 3 to 5 people a week that asked for that PDF. There was 500 freaking people that wanted that. I'm like, okay, I have to figure out a way to like bring this more mainstream. So that's when I did the launch. That's when I did the webinar in November. Over 300 people showed up. Over 300 people registered. Over 100 people showed up. And we've continued to grow and do everything since. We launched the group mastermind. There's a little over 20 people in that group, 4 people in 1-to-1 increments within that community. And then we're throwing our first event here in March. So I'm excited about what that is ultimately going to take place with, and like how we're going to continue to grow and build and scale and do all of that stuff. And to kind of like pivot to the last thing that I'm really focused on right now, or that like is obviously something I will be doing more of, is the opportunity with WinRate Consulting. So I was a client of WinRate Consulting for over 2 years in the Champion Circle group. And Mike is somebody that I just have the utmost freaking respect for. And he's a mentor to me. He's a friend. And ultimately, like I said a long time ago, and I even like said it to multiple people, was like, man, like if somehow I could ever be in the internal WinRate ecosystem, if I could ever find a way to become a coach, right, I would figure out a way to make that happen. And not that I had like figure out a way to make it happen, but I had to do the work ultimately in order to get to a point where WinRate felt compelled and saw something in me that I could provide a bigger and more impactful way of impacting their client base. So I had those conversations starting back in October, went to the WinRate retreat last weekend 2 weekends ago in Greenville, South Carolina, and just over the moon about what I'm ultimately going to be able to do from a coaching and consulting standpoint within their community, right? And obviously, elephant in the room, I've never been the type of person to go start a contracting company. I'm well aware of that. But I've literally started service-based businesses and contracting businesses from building simple websites and then generating leads enough to go start those companies. And I've been in the community long enough. I've been in the ecosystem long enough to where I understand what the framework is for all of this stuff. So I'm thrilled, excited, a little bit anxious for this new opportunity of what is going to come specifically with that. But ultimately, I wanted to share all of those things as a place for me to just be able to come and explain a little bit about where I'm coming from. Explain a little bit about like what the past couple of months have looked like and where things have been. So if you have a question, I'm probably going to send you back to this video. And if you watch the whole video and you still have a question, then I'll answer it. I'll probably answer it regardless, but like I want to make sure that I articulate and I explain where things really transpired over 2023 and kind of going into 2024. And I started to take a look at some unique opportunities to gain some partnerships as well. So like the photo booth company that I announced, that's a partnership that I have very similar to what I did in the auto glass and landscape design company, but reverse engineered. Done are the days where I'm going to go like brutally force myself into going and starting something like an auto glass, like a landscape design, like a company that I have no business starting. And back are the days, or starting are the days where I'm going to go to a company where I see an opportunity for marketing, consulting, whatever. And I'm going to go take assets that I build, bring them into the company, and then also revamp internal marketing and advertising. So that way companies can get the level of marketing and advertising that they need without having to pay a bunch of money up front if they can't afford that. But I would get equity in those organizations. So those are some of the opportunities. Those are some of the creative ways that I will be looking at considering moving forward. Take a quick drink. Somebody had asked me the other day, like, Adam, ultimately, where are you trying to go? Like, who are you trying to be if there was an example of something that's out there? And the easiest person to kind of like show and explain would be like a Kevin Harrington. Kevin Harrington is obviously the original Shark. He's got all these different business ventures. He's doing all of these incredible things. And he's really, really good at like one or two things. For me, it's digital marketing and personal branding. But then I take those skill sets and I put them into other organizations, or I put my names on businesses. And that ultimately gets me in a position of building the authority with that business and getting them to a level quicker, faster, stronger, and more efficiently than they would be able to do on their own. Somebody literally was like, Adam, I would love to offer you equity in my company, not just because of the marketing and advertising expertise that you bring, but if I can put, you're so well respected in the community here in St. Louis, if I could put your name on my business, I know that that would literally sell stuff. And that's exactly what Kevin Harrington does, with the goal of all of these different things. Is I will be speaking on more stages and bigger stages this year. I just got done with Job Trade Connect, and I'll be doing the live webinar tomorrow about the presentation I gave at Job Trade Connect. But that was the best talk I've given on digital marketing specific stuff. And I've changed the way that I've given presentations. I've changed the way really since the webinar that I did to launch Builders of Authority, based on feedback that I got, based on how I felt, based on me critiquing myself, and truly understanding how to deliver presentations that meet people where they're at and land with the ideal audience that's listening to those talks. So I'll be giving more talks, giving more presentations with the aspect of we're just trying to build the personal brand and the awareness of Adam McChesney. If you need digital marketing, we have the amazing team at Hite Digital. You talk with Demi, you go through that whole process. If you become a client and all things work out and you're excited and you're interested to go, that's where you go. If you want Builders of Authority, that's where you're going to be able to come into our ecosystem, get personal branding, guidance, coaching, consulting, whatever it is that you want to call it. If you want business coaching and consulting, if you're looking for a one-on-one group type stuff, I can get you over to the crew over at WinRate Consulting, and we'll take an incredible care of you over there as well. So again, did I feel like this was necessary? No, but I felt like maybe some people had questions that other people already had, and it would have just have been easier for me to come on, explain a lot about the last year and 1 month and do it in 30 minutes versus then spending 30 minutes answering a couple of different people about what's going on and what I'm focused on and where I'm going and how all these fit in to the bigger piece. I know people are like, that's a lot. You got a lot going on. I understand that. I know. But ultimately, I can do more in a week than most people can do in a month. Like, I'm fully aware of that. Is it always healthy? No, I'm working on that. But just because it looks like there is a variety of different things going on, one, there 100% is. But two, a lot of people, and if you ask me this question, I'm not saying you're the person that this is, but a lot of people are inefficient. They waste a ton of freaking time, and they ultimately don't do what they say they're going to do. I'm not that person. I take action. I do things quicker, faster, and stronger than most people. I will fail. I do fail forward. And then I pick up the pieces and then look for ways to get better, faster, and stronger. But just because I'm doing a multitude of different things doesn't mean that I don't, or that I have things like that are literally crumbling to the ground in these different businesses and these different areas. No, I have teams that handle literally everything. I hired an executive assistant about 2 weeks ago. Her name is Lorna. Y'all will meet her on a live soon if you haven't already. She's freaking phenomenal. And I'm doing things at a different level than I've done them in the past. I'm delegating, I'm elevating, I'm automating. I'm doing things that are outside of my comfort zone because of where I'm at and where I'm trying to go. So thank you all for those of you that have watched. I know we had quite a few people on here. If you have any questions, again, thoughts, feedback, etc., feel free to drop those in the comments. I'll come back and answer them. Feel free to shoot me a message if you watched the video, if there is anything else that I can answer for you. But again, this was just a way for me to kind of come explain a little bit about what I have going on, explain what I'm focused on here this year, and hope this answers some questions if y'all had any questions, because I know other people did, and this was just easier to tackle it all at once. So appreciate y'all. Join me tomorrow, 2 different lives tomorrow. One, I'm going to teach you how to create a lead magnet where you can go do your own webinar, build up your list of people that are interested in working with you all or buying your widget or product. And then at 5 p.m. tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a presentation about 45 minutes on how to dominate your market online in 2024 and beyond. And then also going to be launching to the public our new core offers here at Hite Digital. So thank y'all. Talk to you tomorrow, and we'll talk soon.